So there's this video that I've been working on for a while, and it was almost ready. Then Pokemon Go was announced, and I did a video on it. On the bright side, that video actually tied into my next video. Then you happened. You stole the spotlight of Pokemon Go only 2 days after it was announced. And it's not just that, you pretty much made my next video irrelevant. That's right, I'm talking to you, Zygarde. Okay, for those of you who didn't catch the hint at the end of my last video, I was going to talk about the possibility of Kanto remakes. But then Zygarde over here decided to go Kim Kardashian on us and break the internet. This made Kanto remakes the last thing on everyone's mind. So since Zygarde wants attention so much, it's gonna get it. Cause it's time to expose this bitch to find out what it's all about. I dug deep to find theories and ideas that will help us find out the truth about Zygarde's forms. So let's get started. Disclaimer! I am not the first person to come up with these theories. Links will be provided showing you where I got them from. Coro leaked and what was revealed blew up the Pokénet. The big news was that the next season of the anime was going to be called Pokemon X, Y, and Z. Wait, Z? That's not a game yet. Or is it? This season of the anime is going to focus heavily on Zygarde and its new forms. Two of these new forms are the green blob and this thing. These forms were first teased at the end of the Hoopa movie in Japan and caused a lot of speculation. But now we know that these Pokemon are actually forms of Zygarde. Let's start off with the weakest form of Zygarde, which is Zygarde Cell. These little guys are found all across the Kalos region. They are the basic cells of Zygarde. Similar to how living creatures are made up of real-life cells, Zygarde is made up of Zygarde cells. Duh. They don't think, they don't use any attacks, and pretty much don't do anything. So should it even be considered to be called a Pokemon? I say no. Next we have Zygarde Core, aka Mr. Blobby. This Pokemon is part of Zygarde's brain. It can do things like communicate with Zygarde cells and other cores. When shit starts to go down, Zygarde Core absorbs the cells, which allow it to take on powerful forms. This can be seen at the end of the Mega Evolution Act 4 trailer. The first form is taken when Zygarde Core absorbs 10% of the cells. This form is called Zygarde 10% form. Yeah, I know. Super clever. This form attacks with sharp fangs that has incredible speed. The next form is available when Zygarde Core absorbs 50% of the cells, and it's called Zygarde 50% form. This is the OG Zygarde from Pokemon X and Y. And finally, when Zygarde absorbs all its cells, it turns into Zygarde Complete form. Zygarde takes this form when it faces a threat that not even its 50% form can deal with. This form is said to be more powerful than Xerneas and Yveltal. I mean, obviously it is, since it looks like it ate them. Or absorbed them. Segway! Now come the theories. The first theory is that Zygarde is based off the Cell from Dragon Ball Z. I fully support this. I mean, come on. If the next Pokemon game is going to be called Pokemon Z, then you know there are going to be some DBZ references. Actually, there already are some references present in X and Y and Oras. Isn't Mega Evolution kinda like going Super Saiyan? Anyways, the connections between Zygarde and Cell are very obvious, especially now that its new forms were revealed. Zygarde and Cell are both based off of cells, and both absorb or gather cells in order to get stronger. Zygarde's weakest form, Zygarde Cell, corresponds with Cell's larva form. Next are Zygarde Core and Cell's cocoon form. This is the base form, and this is the form where they begin to absorb cells to get stronger. Then we have Zygarde 10% and Imperfect Cell. In this form, they can attack and defend themselves. After that, it's OG Zygarde and Semi-Perfect Cell. And finally, it's Complete Zygarde and Perfect Cell. This is where everybody freaked out. Besides having weird wing things, probably the biggest hint that Complete Zygarde is Cell is its Japanese name. Complete Zygarde's name in Japan is Zygarde Perfect Form. Perfect Zygarde and Perfect Cell. I'm sold. Now this is where shit gets even crazier. Notice the blue and red on Zygarde's sides. Many people believe that this is supposed to represent Xerneas and Yveltal after Zygarde absorbed them. This is how he would achieve his perfect form. Much like how Cell had to absorb Android 17 and 18 to become perfect.
Time to devour the last morsel and become whole!
Although that would be awesome, here's why I think this won't be the way that Zygarde turns perfect. Zygarde's ability is Aura Break, which is meant to fight off against Xerneas and Yveltal's Aura ability. But let's be honest here, Zygarde ain't beating them in his 50% form. I think the Aura Break ability is meant to be used in his perfect form, when he can actually stand a chance against the two. I mean, why give perfect Zygarde the ability to break Aura when he already absorbed the only Pokemon that have the Aura that he's supposed to break? Get it? Me neither. Plus, wouldn't Pokemon Fusion seem redundant seeing how we just had that in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2? That's a Gen 5 thing. It would be like having Kyurem absorb Reshiram and Zekrom to become the original dragon. Now that the Dragon Ball Z theory is out of the way, it's time to look at some facts. For those of you that don't know, Zygarde 50% is based off of Nidhogg, the serpent that resides at the bottom of the Tree of Life. Nidhogg can control armies of the dead for some reason. So what is Zygarde's army of the dead? How about an army of Zygarde cells? This is pretty likely, especially when you think about Zygarde's two hidden moves, 1000 Waves and 1000 Arrows. I'm willing to bet that those little hexagons Zygarde are shooting are Zygarde cells. Now some people may be wondering what Zygarde 10% and complete form are based off of. I'm gonna start with Zygarde 10%, just cuz. Zygarde 10% is based on Garm, a dog from Norse mythology. Garm is owned by Hel, the daughter of Loki, and they both reside in the underworld along with Nidhogg. On Wikipedia, yes, I know, reliable. On Wikipedia, it states that Garm is described as a blood-stained watchdog that guards Hel's gate. Guards. Zygarde. So there you go. Now moving on to the big whopper, Zygarde complete form. This form is based on Hel. Hel is usually depicted as a half-dead or half-alive giant, and this description fits perfectly with Zygarde complete form. You're probably wondering, yeah, I see the giant part, but where's the half-dead, half-alive part? Now this is where you're gonna go, Xerneas is a Pokemon that represents life, and Yveltal is a Pokemon that represents death. I mean destruction. This is why Zygarde has one side colored blue and the other side colored red. Not because he swallowed Xerneas and Yveltal, but because he's supposed to represent the balance between the two. Boom! Zygarde exposed! So guys, I hope you enjoyed hearing me expose Zygarde. I know I'm super late to the party, but this news just threw my whole schedule out of whack. Make sure you click the annotation or the link in the description to watch the videos where I got this information from. Hopefully Zygarde is done having new forms, or I might have to like rip my head off. Anyways, that's it for now. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe for more content like this. And last but not least, make sure you live your life to the fullest, and I'll see y'all next time.